Hello everyone. My story today is called The Lone Pine. If you notice with the cover, it actually has a beautiful tree on it, and it has now become a main symbol of the tree as a commemorative tree in many gardens to show and share our respect of our Anzacs. Lone Pine has been written by Susie Brown and Margaret Warner. December 2008. Lightning flashes, thunder booms, wind tears at the branches of an old pine tree that stands alone in the grounds of the Australian War Memorial. Pine cones lie scattered across the ground. August 1915. Almost a century earlier, on the far side of the world, pine cones lay scattered across the Turkish hillside. A single tree stands alone on the ridge. The soldiers have cut down all the other trees to cover their trenches. Now they crouch beneath, a jumble of branches, nervous and silent, waiting for battle. Suddenly, rifles crack, gunfire explodes, bullets whistle across the summer sky. The Battle of the Lone Pine begins. The fighting is fierce. Many soldiers are killed. When the battle is over, pine cones lie crushed on the rocky ground. A young Australian soldier moves cautiously across the ravaged hillside. Broken branches snap beneath his boots as he searches for his youngest brother. He hopes his brother is still alive. The soldier looks down. He stoops and plucks a pine cone that is still clinging to a branch. Holding it up, he breathes in the fresh, clean scent of pine. He thinks of his mother's garden where he used to play with his brothers. The soldier slips the pine cone into his pocket. It is a reminder of his sad day. Then he keeps searching for his brother. In an Australian town, an anxious mother waits beside the letterbox. News from the battlefields takes weeks, sometimes months, to reach where she lives. At last, a parcel arrives. The mother recognises the handwriting and her heart skips a beat. Carefully, she unties the string and folds back the brown paper. Inside the parcel is a pine cone. She holds it up. Its scales feel rough against her fingers. She inhales the scents of distant places, and she knows that her son once held this same cone in the palm of his hand. Gently, she slips the pine cone into a drawer where it will stay safe. The pine cone lies in the drawer, not quite remembered, not quite forgotten. One day the mother opens the drawer. She picks up the pine cone and thinks of 3 soldier sons. 2 have returned, but her youngest never will. As she turns the pine cone around in her fingers, several pale brown seeds float down to the floor. She gathers the seeds and plants them in a pot. She places the pot in a sheltered part of her garden, where the seeds will be warm in the sun and protected from the wind. Each time she waters them, she thinks of a solitary pine tree on a faraway hillside. One morning, a few weeks later, the first tender green shoot appears. Before long, 3 saplings start to grow. their stems reaching for the sun. 2 of them grow sturdy and strong, but the needles on the 3rd sapling turn brown. They wither and drop to the ground. The 3rd sapling does not survive. The other 2 saplings grow taller, their branches are sturdy, their needles are glossy and green. It is time to plant them where they will remind people of the Battle of Lone Pine and the soldiers who died there. January 1930. The soldier's mother takes one of the trees to the railway station and sends it to Enverol, the town where her sons grew up. A few days later, the people watch as a gardener plants her tree in the town's main park. Then they place a plaque at its base in remembrance of her son who died. She sends the 2nd tree to Canberra. Another gardener watches over the tree in the nursery while a war memorial is being planned. The soldier's mother writes often to ask how her tree is growing. October 1934. On a warm spring day, the Duke of Gloucester plants the trees in the grounds of the Australian War Memorial. That afternoon, the sky turns dark, lightning flashes, thunder booms, wind tears at the branches of the young pine tree. At last the sky is clear, the years pass, the tree weathers many storms, but the lone pine still stands proud and strong. Lest we forget. The lone pine, standing strong and tall through every challenge that it faces, lest we forget, in remembrance of our Anzacs.